Hello and good morning, dear students. Welcome to class 11th. Myself is Sumit, PGT Biology, and today we'll be doing the first chapter, which is the living world. From my behalf, I welcome you all in class 11th, and from today we'll be starting the biology lectures. Hope you can understand, and if anyone has any problem regarding the chapters, regarding the course, or regarding the lectures, you will definitely ask me anytime, and we will start the proceeding from the chapter first, which is the living world. This is the first unit, so let we start together. So if we are talking about living, the first question which is come to our mind is, what is living? And when we try to define living, we basically talk about, or we basically look for the characters of living organisms. These characters include growth, reproduction, ability to sense the environment, and many more characters. Living is the basis of life, as we know that we are dealing with biology, and bio means life. So living is a term which is made from a word life. So the first question is, what life is all about? Life is full of surprises. Life is very, very miraculous. And if we are dealing with the life, and life, what is life is the basic question. What is life? As we know that life comes from life, but the first life on this earth came from chemicals. Theories according to the theory of chemical evolution. There are three basic things for life, which include, the first one is nucleic acid, the second one is protein, and the third one is carbohydrates. Life is usually the summation of these three things: nucleic acid, which is the backbone of life; protein, which is the main building block of life; and carbohydrate, which is the energy source required to sustain life. There are two types of nucleic acid. One is the DNA and other one is the RNA. DNA is the deoxyribose nucleic acid, while the RNA is the ribose nucleic acid. Both are nucleic acids, and nucleic acids are usually the backbone of life. All the life revolve around the nucleic acid, because all the living information are usually conducted by the DNA or by the nucleic acid. It is usually the DNA or the RNA, the nucleic acid is usually the storehouse of all the information which are required to sustain life, which are required to conduct the life and life processes. Second one is the protein. Protein is the basic building block for life. Without protein, nothing can form. All the structures, all the body organs, even if all the living cells, all the living membranes, cell membrane, mitochondrial membrane, etc., are made up of proteins. So if there is no protein, there is no body organization, there is no body structure. The third one is carbohydrate. And as we know that without energy, a life is not possible at all. So carbohydrates are the energy sources, because after the breakdown of carbohydrates, the energy in the form of usable form like ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is generated. Energy forms ATP, GTP, CTP, and TTP. These are the energy forms, energy packets, or energy currency of the cell. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. So by the breakdown of carbohydrate and the process in which the carbohydrate breaks is called respiration. And by the breakdown of carbohydrate or by the process of respiration, carbohydrates, including glucose, including sugars, including fructose, breaks into smaller components, and a large amount of metabolic energy in the form of ATP, GTP, CTP, or TTP is released, which is utilized to perform many living processes. So these are the three basic things which are required for life, like nucleic acid, DNA, RNA. DNA have all the information for life. Protein build the life, while carbohydrate produces energy for the continuation of life and life processes. Life on earth is usually came from 3.6 billion years ago, while the formation of earth takes place 4.6 billion years ago. Now, if we are talking about the characteristics of life, characters or characteristics of life, all life organisms have the power to grow. It means all living organisms grow. This is one of the characters of living. Characters of living. What is the meaning of grow? Grow means increase in mass or increase in number. Grow or all living organism grow means increase in mass or increase in number. Like if we are talking about the multicellular organism, all the multicellular organism start their life from a single cell, which is usually known as zygote, and by the division of zygote, from a single zygote 2 cells, and then 4 cells, and then 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, and so on. The cells may increase and increase and increase. And this is a type of growth. If we are talking about a dead organisms, the dead organism does not grow at all. So, one of the basic characters of living is all living organisms grow. The second character, if we are talking about the second character of living, is reproduction. Reproduction is one of the very important characteristic of living organisms, and reproduction usually refers to the production of new ones, production of progeny having the feature similar to their parents. Reproduction, अपने जैसे इंडिविजुअल प्रोड्यूस करने की पावर. There are many types of reproduction, which include asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. And if we are talking about the asexual means of asexual means of reproduction, it is if we are talking about asexual reproduction, it is usually by spores. And the second one is sexual reproduction. It is usually by gametes. So there is a difference between two types of reproduction. Sexual reproduction always need gametes, while the asexual reproduction takes place through asexual spores, like in case of fungi. There are so many types of spores like zoospores, aplanospores, etc. are formed. Zoospores. These are always motile zoospores. And if we are talking about the aplanospore, they are non-motile spores. In sexual reproduction, there are two types of gametes. One is called male gamete and another is called female gamete. These two gametes get fused to form a diploid zygote. So the sexual reproduction is usually diparental or digametic. It always needs two types of gametes. And these two gametes, one act as male gamete and other act as female gamete, get fused to form a diploid zygote. And from this zygote, cell division takes place, and as a result, a multicellular new individual is formed. Some other methods of reproduction are also there, like which is sometimes included in asexual form, or sometimes it is known as vegetative form, in which fragmentation is there. Simplest form of reproduction, there is a filament which breaks into small parts, and each such fragment can form a new individual. Some other vegetative forms include the grafting, the budding, etc. Like in case of rose, we use the old cutting of rose for the production of new plant, or for the formation of new plant. It is one of the very defining characteristic of living organisms. So in today's lecture we talk about only the basis of living. In the next lecture we'll be focusing on some more characters. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.